He said he's been putting on weight and muscle so he can be able to take more hits, which is smart, but I don't want him to get too big because then he'll get slow. And you got to be able to move.
Yeah, you got to be flexible at that position.
So I don't want Matt Ryan to take all the onus on himself. It's a team thing. Everybody has to step up because there were times when the Falcons just looked like they weren't supposed to be in the playoffs. There were certain points in the game where I was embarrassed. Like
that 24-2, the Giants came out and showed that the Falcons didn't belong in the elite. You know, and if they want to be back in the elite, you know, they're gonna have to step up.
Absolutely. And I don't see it being any different than when they get in the playoffs this year. Whoever they play will probably be the top tier teams in that first round. So step up, my Falcons.
That NFC's deep this year. That NFC's
God.
Gonna be deep this year.
Oh my God, teams are setting themselves up for
NFC South, NFC North. Those are two really.
Which brings me to my other team, the Detroit Lions. We already covered Riley Reid, so we don't have to go back there. Their second pick, Ryan Broyles, the wide receiver. I love this pick. Because you got Megatron, you got Titus Young, and what's our other receiver, the older guy? Can't think of his name.
Did they get Burleson?
Yeah, they got
Burleson. Nate Burleson. I like those three. You know, Nate's on the back end of his career. So we need somebody to take some pressure off those receivers. Titus is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Titus Young is going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
And the more pressure to take off Megatron, the better. So Ryan Broyles fits. He would be perfect in the slot. He would be perfect in the slot. So that gives us another option. The Lions, which they haven't done in history, they drafted very well. These past couple seasons they have, but the Matt Millen era just made us look horrible. It made us look horrible the way they drafted. And then the third pick, you got Dwight Bentley, a cornerback, which is great. Because when your best cornerback is Chris Houston, I like Chris Houston, but he's average. That's why Atlanta got rid of him. So we got Dwight Bentley. He's very fast, very instinctive, had a lot of interceptions in college. We need that. We need some excitement in the secondary.
Right.
Fourth,
did they re-sign Eric Wright? Or did he move on?
He moved on.
Oh,
Eric Wright.
I don't like that.
Eric Wright moved on.
I like Eric Wright.
Yeah, he left. The fourth pick for the Lions was Ronell Lewis, outside linebacker. Great pick again, fits the scheme perfectly. Need a lot of linebacker help. They actually drafted 3 outside linebackers and 3 cornerbacks, which was great because our D-line is set. Our D-line is fine.
Your D-line's going to be set for
Cliff Averill and Dominic Sue, Nick Fairley,
Vanden Bosch.
Those guys aren't going anywhere. Vanden Bosch only has a few years left, but with the strength of the other 3, we're fine.
He's not going to have to work as hard, so he'll be all right.
We got Tahir Whitehead, another outside linebacker. I don't know much about him, but just for the fact that they drafted a linebacker, I'll take it because our linebackers, DeAndre Levy, those guys are good, but they're not good enough to be solo. They need help. They need supporting cast.
Yeah, Tulloch and Justin Durant, and Bobby Carpenter.
A whole bunch of C-list players.
Yeah.
And they're tough guys, but they're just not skilled. We need skilled guys.
Especially the NFC North, man. You're gonna have to come with it, man. You're gonna have to lay down the wood to some of these guys, these other teams like the Bears and the Packers.
Then you got Chris Green with another cornerback. He's a little bit bigger. I believe he's like 6'1". So I like that. I'm more prone to bigger cornerbacks because these receivers are 6'3", 6'4", with these tremendous reaches and jumping ability like a Stephen Hill.
Right.
You need somebody that you can't. There's only one person I know that's short, and we have him on the Falcons, Brent Grimes. I've never seen a cornerback play as athletic as Brent Grimes has.
Right.
Brent Grimes is 5'8" on a good day.
Right.
He is extremely.
He is tiny.
Well, he's outplayed the expectation
Absolutely.
level by long shot.
Absolutely, from Shippensburg. you know, and they also drafted Jonte Green, another defensive back. He's kind of a hybrid. He can play safety or DB, which helps because Louis Delmas is good, but he's injury prone.
Yes.
So they needed some backup there. And then their 7th round pick was Travis Lewis, another outside linebacker. Now I think he's more of a project because he's a guy that can play all 3 positions, but they don't really know where he fits.
Right.
But that's a good thing because he'll be able to fill in for everybody. He'll kind of get to be able to learn every position. So overall, I like the Lions draft better than the Falcons because they filled a lot more needs.
Okay.
The Falcons, like you said, that
picks.
tight end thing, that's a big question mark. That's a huge question mark. But then again, you know, we gave up the majority of our picks for Julio.
Right.
So we had to work with what we got. But free agent-wise, undrafted, the Lions picked up Kellen Moore from Boise State. I like that. I think he would fit into the offense perfectly. He would be a good complement to Matt Stafford. Should Matt Stafford get hurt, we hope not, because we lost our other backup to the Jets, who then left, who's having a problem getting the job. I know he was sick about that. Like, he gets traded to the Jets to back up Sanchez, and then Tebow comes to town.
Yeah.
And that was like, what, a 2-3 day window?
Yeah. Same week.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then my Falcons, they also undrafted. They picked up James Rodgers, Jacquizz Rodgers' brother from Oregon State.
Right.
He's a great return man, slot receiver. So again, taking pressure off the passing game. I love that. And we'll see how many of these guys actually make the team.
See, and before he got caught with the marijuana in his mouth, I compared. I pretty much gave the Lions Michael LaSure, gave him as a brand new player, being that he missed the whole season last year. And he shows a lot of promise, this kid. He's a hell of a running back.
Yeah.
And he missed the entire season. I thought that really crippled the Lions. I gave him credit for even doing as well as they did without a running game. I mean, they got Kevin Smith off of the
I was about
scrappy.
to say, shout out to Kevin Smith, because the Lions had cut him.
Yeah.
And he was gone and dead. Nobody even remembers Kevin Smith from Central Florida. But he looked well. He played well. He got himself in shape. And you don't hear a lot of that. Detroit loses a lot of players to drugs, injuries, and just not being good football players.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Javid Best is a big piece to this.
That running game can be lethal.
If these guys can get healthy, if these guys can stay healthy, this can
Keep
be
the marijuana out
an
their mouth.
explosive team.
Yeah, you can't get caught twice with weed in Detroit, out of all places. Of all the places to hide in Detroit, and you get caught twice.
Swallow the marijuana.
And then
swallow the marijuana.
Yeah, they said when the cops put up, he was chewing it, and he had like residue on his shirt. Like, come on,
like,
bro.
how much weed was you eating, dude?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And you haven't even touched the field yet. It'd be different if you had a good season under you. You haven't even.
Then you got some reason to celebrate.
Yeah, you haven't even played yet. So, Detroit will be good. Atlanta will be good. But it's always, in my mind, it's always about playoffs. What are you going to do in the playoffs? Because both of them will be good during the regular season. I don't see either one of them less than 9-10 wins apiece each.
Do you think both of them will make the playoffs?
I think Atlanta definitely. Detroit, I want to believe it, but you still have the Packers.
Yeah, I think they're a no-brainer. They might not win the division. Maybe the Packers might win the division, but I think Detroit is definitely in there.
I don't
as long as they keep Stafford upright.
That's my question, because like I said, we got Riley Reef, but they still need offensive line help more than one position. That was just the biggest need on the offensive line.
Tackle.
Detroit's guards aren't that great, and that's usually where a lot of the blitzes come from the inside. So, but Stafford, like I said, he proved himself. He proved that he can play under duress. So we're gonna hope and pray for the best. I expect to see both of my teams. I would love to see the Falcons and the Lions in the playoffs against each other. That would be great.
Win-win situation.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean either way. But just for the fact that where both these teams have come from the Michael Vick era and from the Matt Millen 0-16 era to now meeting in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, that's a win. And my Falcons just got to get a goddamn playoff win. The Lions have more time because they're younger.
Yeah, they have
The Falcons, we got some good pieces, but
the window's closing with Michael Turner, Roddy White getting older.
Oh, do you think Mike Smith needs to? I mean, is his coaching position up for grabs
if he doesn't produce the season, yes, I think we will lose Smitty.
I thought he should have been kicked out last year for those just horrendous decisions. Like these decisions he made, these 4th and 1s,
and not getting
them continually with the quarterback. If you have Michael Turner at running back, I don't care what down it is.
Yeah.
If it's 1 yard, you better run Michael Turner.
Oh my God! And we did that 3 times last season.
Hell, fake it and run a reverse with Julio Jones or
anything.
Roddy White.
I'd rather have Jason Snelling run the ball.
To Jacquizz Rodgers, the little speedster strong neck from Oregon State.
Give it to somebody, man.
Anybody? Yeah, those are horrible decisions.
Don't give it to Matt Ryan up the middle.
Oh, and don't forget Tony Gonzalez is on your team too.
Yeah. It's plenty of ways.
5-yard hitch. That's all it takes.
Anything.
I play that in my head so many times, and it's just like, oh my God. and the defense was stacked for the exact play they ran.
They knew it was coming.
The Saints called a timeout. Once they called a timeout, I would have switched the play. Mike Smith pulled his nuts out and said, "Oh no, we're just going to keep run the same play." Because you've seen it. The Saints seen what the Falcons were going to do.
Right.
They called a timeout. Smith looked at the offense and said, "Same play."
I would have sent out the same personnel and ran a play action.
Right.
And I would have gotten a touchdown.
Right. Because everybody knows the Saints over-aggressive blitzing defense. They came right up the middle with the entire defense. The edge was wide open.
They didn't even
Even
try.
if you'd have threw a screen.
Didn't even try it.
Imagine a screen while the defense is blitzing up the middle.
Didn't even
That would have
try.
damn near been a touchdown.
Didn't even try.
Oh yeah. The Saints have nobody that can check White and Jones.
No.
Nah.
And
It's too much talent.
Yeah, so
And they would have been in single coverage out there.
I'll
Because
take-
everybody's in the box. They got like 8-9 players.
I'll
in the
take
box.
Roddy White and Julio Jones over.
and I mean
Porter
part of
and
that too was our old coordinator Mike Malarkey. Mike
Malarkey.
who's gone now, who's the head coach of
Appropriate
the
name, Malarkey.
Malarkey.
who's the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shout out to you, Jaguars. Appreciate you.
Good luck.
That's tough.
Appreciate you.
Good luck with that.
So yeah, if Smitty doesn't get the results, and especially more specifically, if he doesn't get a playoff win, I think he'll lose his job.
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
think he'll lose his job.
Well, it's a shame because I think he's a good coach.
I like Smitty. He has that old school tough mentality. I like that about him. He's a very grinded out type of coach.
But you got to produce. You got to produce.
You got to produce, and you got to know when and when not to.
And I think Arthur Blank.
When they had they had home field.
When we lost against the Packers.
When you lost against the Packers, man, and they fell apart at home, that was a big blow because it was like, man, you worked so hard to get that home field, and then you play like this.
Lou, you seen me when we were listening to that game.
Oh man,
It was a game up until Matt Ryan threw that interception at the end of the first
Tremont
half,
Williams.
and he ran that way back, and my heart dropped in my shoe. My heart dropped because at that point the game was still close. The game was still close. I believe it was like a touchdown difference.
Yeah.
And once he threw the interception, they went up by 14. Then they came out in the second half and scored on the first possession and made it a 21-point spread in a matter of 3-4 minutes. That killed the entire game. You've seen our defense was second guessing themselves after that. They didn't know who to guard. They completely lost all of their confidence.
Aaron Rodgers tore him to shreds.
Tore them to pieces.
and that's why they went and got Julio Jones. They wanted to mimic what the Packers are doing. But like you said, what's their identity? Are you a power running team?
But the same
Are you
thing,
a vertical team?
The same thing happened against the Giants this year. If you remember, the first up into the middle of the second quarter, the game was close.
Right.
It was like 2-7.
Yeah.
And then Eli pushed that button, and that defense did not allow us to. I don't think we gained another 40 yards. And it was like you could see the Falcons losing confidence every series, more and more, to the point where they were just running safe plays.
I feel like Matt Ryan didn't take charge as a franchise quarterback should, as an Eli Manning, as an Aaron Rodgers would.
But then again, I blame a lot of that on Malarkey.
Yeah.
I blame a lot of that on Malarkey because Matt Ryan is the type of player where he listens to his coaches. He's not going to really be aggressive like Eli. You know, Eli, I'm sure you've seen Eli getting debates with his offensive coordinator. Matt Ryan's not really going to do that. He's going to run the what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And Malarkey set us up for failure, man.
Yeah.
Our offense got more and more conservative as the game went on when it should have been the opposite.
Yeah.
Well, that's our synopsis, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, we're hoping for the best for all our teams.
And it's gonna be somebody's gonna be disappointed at this table.
Oh yeah.
Right now, we all going to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Right now. But no, seriously, I think Mark Sanchez is going to take a step up because to me, no quarterback has been more scrutinized outside of Tebow than Mark Sanchez. But they really rode Mark Sanchez, and a lot of the problems that the Jets had wasn't his fault. But as the quarterback, and especially in the New York market, they are going to kill you.
Oh yeah.
They're going to kill you.
Oh
so
yeah.
I think Mark Sanchez is going to have a 3,500 to 4,000 yard year. I really do. If they allow him to pass enough, I think he can. I
think they will. I think losing Schottenheimer was a big part of it. The Jet fans, we were fed up with Brian Schottenheimer, and it wasn't as much what he was calling, but when he was calling it.
Yeah.